let's say you're 70 and you look back at your life, are you going to be proud that like you made this particular decision? You're doing this for yourself. Make yourself proud. You matter in this matter. A content strategist can be a content marketer, but when you're a content marketer, you might not necessarily be
a content strategist.
Don't judge yourself out of opportunities that you might have attracted.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Amazing Exploits with Joshua Alani. Joining me on this episode is a content strategist, a speaker, a consultant. She has been helping people and businesses build impactful and visible brands with content. Join me in welcoming Good News, Kola Dege.
Hi Joshua, thank you very much for this opportunity to be here.
Great to have you here. You recently posted that you sold your first property as a realtor, right? So how did it happen?
I just started talking about real estate this year. And I think like one of the major reasons why is because there are things I wish I did when I was, younger, in my 20s.
Yeah.
And one of it is investment. I would say I didn't make money. I had money coming in, but there was just this always like procrastination that, I still have time. I'm going to do it later. That later turned into years.
And sometimes you feel like you don't have enough capital to like do stuff.
Exactly. And I learned now that you don't even have to have so much capital. You can start with something really small. And for the companies I got engaged with, kind of have like partnership with, they actually made it so easy that you can actually start getting land for as low as 150K. So you can actually make an initial deposit of that and spread it across. So that's
awesome. That's like brilliant. So we'll still dive into a lot of different things that you do. So let's start from your career path.
okay.
Yeah, at least I know a bit. Did a bit of medicine at some point and eventually switched. Right. I know that you want to get in your degree in administration currently. Yeah. Yes. So I'd love to know how did that happen and like dropping medicine and then picking a new career path. How did you pull through that phase?
Okay. First of all, it was not an eureka moment. It wasn't. I don't know. The decision wasn't something that just came spontaneously. I didn't make it. It was very hard because for all my life, I've actually wanted to study medicine. It's not like anybody forced me. It's not like my parents ever pressured me to go into medicine. But like, it was a sudden realization that my interests and my passion, they were not aligning. My focus was on something else, and I was, in my mind, passionate about something else. In my mind, I was passionate about medicine, but my interests were in business, marketing. And I think I saw a little glimpse of that in when I was in med school. I actually started like two kind of business.
Oh wow, interesting. Tell us about it.
Okay, so the first one, I started mending clothes for people. I learned how to sew on YouTube. I got a machine, and I saw a market gap that sewing in where I schooled in St. Vincent, that's the Caribbeans.
Okay.
And sewing there was quite expensive. So I thought of it that if I could help students, get their clothes adjusted for like $5. And those having customers, students were coming to me, even though it seemed small, but it made a very significant impact in my own income. Because apart from pocket money I was getting from my parents, that was a way to like just augment just basic daily needs. I was really, really good. That was one. And then the second one was my best idea ever. Oh. I really wish I could go back and do that, but I think time and place hasn't really allowed that. So it was a suya event kind of thing where I was like hosting a suya event. I only had like 2 editions. So I named it Chill and Grill.
Okay.
So I was like, let's bring the Nigerian night lifestyle to the Caribbeans. And I know that they love barbecue. Caribbeans love. In fact, I think every home has like a grill in their house. Whether like it's usually made like with steel and this like.
Okay, we just have it at their backyard or somewhere.
Something like that. So I was like, this is something that would excite them. But then I had no idea really about doing market research. And one reason I think that business didn't last that long was because I had no idea how to price my stuff. I just like this idea of bringing in exciting things. Let me just, have fun about it. And, even at my own expense, I could decide to just put my money into just, money was not, I usually used my pocket money for that business. Like I didn't tell my parents anything about it. I was just like, this idea is in my mind. I need to get it out there. I did the marketing. I did my video myself. I got someone to design the flyer, but I did the video marketing, everything. And when people said, they were like, wow, this is brilliant. Nobody thought it was me. Like, someone was standing beside me and was like, oh, I've been seeing this year event everywhere. Oh, the person that is really planning this is really doing well. I was like, okay.
And I was just one person running the car and everything.
Exactly. But we also had supportive friends. My friends would be like, run with me to the market. And while I'm hiring someone to do the suya, then I'm cutting cabbage, onion. We don't cry after cutting lots of onions for the suya night. But it was a very, very interesting, period for me, because I think that was an eye opener. But my eyes were not opened at that point in time. I just felt that, it's just everybody always has a hobby, but medicine is the focus. I was still very, very, very into that. But the business didn't last so long because I was losing money and I couldn't just, sustain it, and I had to come back home at that point in time. So that's all about.
Well, that was pretty interesting, right? Just picking up a skill or something that interested you, watching YouTube videos to learn how to make and mend clothes, and then down to the suya business. Even though you did not fly, but at least you did 2 editions. Yeah, but at least you highlighted the importance of market research and all of that, which we might still get to in our conversation. So from what you said, so it wasn't difficult. I don't think it was difficult deciding on the course to now study to get a degree in, because I was going to ask that now business administration. Why business administration? From what you said, you already now have a flair for business. So just still tell us. Let me hear from you directly.
Okay, my choice for business administration, and some I feel like it was a coincidence because I might have gone for communications, but let me see. But this school didn't have communication. Or let me say I didn't see communications. And then I felt that that there might be a little bit of marketing and communications under business admin. I won't have it all. Let me,
go for something that might
exactly. It's something that is management. So I was trying to look at, what are my interests, my skills, and things I'm just, very interested in. I was like, business administration seems to be, all encompassing. And I'll be able to get the full, just the full picture and everything. So that's why I went for business administration. It wasn't, I don't really think I did any serious research. I was just like, it's marketing. Can you just choose this?
Just for it.
And it seems to be paying off. So
awesome. Nice. I also want to ask, right? I know that period must have been tough a bit for you, switching and then getting onto a new career that you love, and then you're doing amazing stuff. And what would be your advice to maybe young people that are currently stuck in a particular career path that feel like maybe it's too late, I don't think I can switch, or I don't think I'm ready to face all of the backlash and everything people will say? What would be your advice to them?
Okay, my simple advice would be that when you get to a certain age, let's say you're 70 and you look back at your life, are you going to be proud that you made this particular decision? Are there things that you wish that you could change or you could do right now that you can actually change? No matter the age, whether you're going to 30 or 40, you need to actually ask yourself that kind of sincere question, because at the end of the day, you're going to be left alone with your regrets, with your own lessons, and nobody would take the blame. By then, your parents might have gone to the Lord, or the friends that, in quote, you feel that pressured you into doing the things that you said you wanted to do. They might not even be in your life again. So you'll be left alone with yourself, and you will just be in this, should I say, quagmire of regrets.
I should have done this, just made the move.
Should be like, what if I did that? And I didn't want to get stuck in that. So it was really tough. Trust me, it was really tough. But you just have to do it. Why? Because you're doing this for yourself. I have this saying, I like to say, make yourself proud. Yes, you want to make your parents proud. You want to make your siblings proud of you. But are you even making yourself proud of yourself? Because you matter in this matter.
Wait, you matter is matter. Cool. Interesting and insightful. So let's talk about what you do currently, right? Or what you've been doing quite of recent. And I need you to spell it out, maybe the differences or similarities. Okay. Content strategist, content marketing or content marketer, and maybe digital marketing or digital marketer. Okay. So are they different at some point? Do these careers merge, or are there roles that encompasses the three different areas, or maybe they're not even different? So just shed more light on this three different aspects, which I know that you've also done stuff across.
Okay, all right. So first of all, my first certification was in digital marketing.
Okay.
And then I decided to specialize. So these I'm going to describe the difference. So digital marketing is like the umbrella for everything. Digital marketing is just like the name says, digital and marketing. Okay. That means marketing online or marketing through the use of digital means, right? So digital marketing is like the father of all. So under digital marketing, you have content marketing, you have paid advertising, Facebook marketing, social media marketing. Then put that social media marketing. So under social media marketing, you have Facebook advertising, you have LinkedIn marketing, you have Instagram. That's all the social media you can think of. So digital marketing is like the father of all of this. So now let's go to content marketing, right?
Yeah.
So now content marketing,
strategy.
Yeah. So under content marketing, there are content strategists, there are content marketers. The only difference is the fact that content strategists are long-term thinkers. They're the ones that think of the business goal. They're thinking about the overall objective of the business. You want to, let's say, what's the income goal for this business over a very long period of time and stuff like that. And then for the content marketer, it's more of short term. They deal with more of engagement, conversion, just the short term kind of, tactics that you use to get results. So you can be a content strategist can be a content marketer, but when you're a content marketer, you might not necessarily be
a content strategist.
So it's just that. So you can decide to go. It's more it's one is being on the surface. You just want to be doing the outside work.
Okay.
And then content strategists do the big thinking. They can be involved in the execution phase and
then the ideation,
exactly,
timing, and all of that.
Exactly. That's the major difference.
Okay, wow, interesting. All right. So, still, I know a lot of young people might still get to watch this video, and many of them still have desires to build careers in whether it's just digital marketing overall, or they're just fascinated about just ideation strategy and they want to focus on content strategy. So, what would you recommend? What pathway would you recommend for someone that is just starting? Yeah, maybe you're seeing your amazing stuff on LinkedIn or on social media, and they feel I want to become a content strategist, I want to become a content marketer or a digital marketer. What would be the pathway that you recommend for them?
Well, there's no one particular path for everybody and all, but I think that sometimes it should be based on your personality. If you're choosing what your personality, if you're the type in quote you like to say you're introverted, I think you should go for the content strategist. That is kind of why for, but in the long run you can definitely develop other areas and become more outgoing and be involved in the content creation process. Exactly. But then if your personality is more of you want to be involved, this very high person extrovert,
everywhere, create stuff,
exactly, then I think you should stick more with content marketing. You can add content strategy as in knowledge. Just learn it and understand why the results, why the strategies you're even employing, or let me say tactics you're employing even work. Just get to understand it. But for just based on personality, that's why I would say you should choose. But anybody can choose any of these paths. There's no, and you can start with content writing. content writing is like the easiest way to break into the content field. That's where I started. I started with content writing.
Right.
And well, not exactly. I started with affiliate marketing. That was my beginning. So I actually got to learn about how to write content for selling through affiliate marketing. So I decided to specialize in content writing. I started writing just randomly. Then I took a course in content marketing from Nextford University.
Nextford.
So that's how I actually got in. But either ways, anybody can. I think that the easiest path for you to just start with content writing, and then you can start be writing scripts, and you start directing scripts, and you're bringing them to life using these particular skills to help people to grow their social media pages, help them to grow their businesses, and that it can go up and up.
Let's talk about LinkedIn, content strategy. LinkedIn. Good news, I know you're big on LinkedIn, right? There's no time I go to LinkedIn. Before I know, I just see you pop. I just look at that. How many days ago? Before you know, you just see about 3 of your posts, right? You've been like very consistent. A lot of followers, lots of connections. So I really want to ask, right, what are the common mistakes that people make with LinkedIn, especially for young professionals? Many of us just go there and just like try to make connections a few days, try to post one day, we lose consistency. But in terms of people want to get results from LinkedIn, people have said that they got their jobs from LinkedIn, got connection, gigs, and clients. But like the top set of mistakes that from interacting, I know you're also a LinkedIn coach, like LinkedIn optimization coach, right? What are like top mistakes that people, young professionals are making in trying to make or get the best from LinkedIn?
Okay. LinkedIn is my baby. All right. So for LinkedIn, I think that let me talk about 3 major mistakes. So the first mistake I see people making is just you feel that LinkedIn is just for professionals. Yeah, a lot of people feel that, because I've seen like I had some students in my last class ask me that I'm a content creator, like, can I build on LinkedIn? I was like, why not? Someone told me that she's a caterer and can I build on LinkedIn? I was like, why not? Now this is the thing, you need to understand your goal on LinkedIn if you really want to get results, right? So I think everybody should have a LinkedIn profile. Just optimize your profile, because your profile optimized could actually be could be what will seal the deal for that business opportunity you're looking for. Nowadays, I see in all these Google forms where you're feeling to get a job, where people say put in your LinkedIn profile. And then imagine that you put that LinkedIn profile and then they go there and they see a Snapchat selfie as your DP, and then everything is empty. You've not been, maybe not even necessarily engaging, but, your profile just...
Dates, maybe educational background, certificates, and all of that.
Exactly. Even if you're not posting content, even though I don't recommend that, your LinkedIn should just be optimized, because you really do not know when it's going to be asked for. So that's the first mistake I see people making, that's thinking that it's only for professionals. I think anybody and everybody should
have his profile
on LinkedIn.
Have it optimized.
Yeah. Then the second mistake I see people making is, treating it like it's just, one random social media. Like, it's not like Facebook and it's not like TikTok. Fine.
Not like Instagram too.
It's not even like Instagram. Those ones are more visual. You can literally just... I know some top creators that don't necessarily post their pictures whenever they are creating content, and they have massive following. So you cannot just, come to LinkedIn and treat it like it's one casual. People have fun on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn because it's easy. I love writing. I prefer writing to creating videos, right? So it's easy for me to just express my thoughts in words, and then can easily, interact with people. So that second mistake that I see people making, don't treat it as just any kind of, because your ideal client could just be hanging there, and they say that you don't look serious. You're putting Snapchat. That one.
Yeah, gets you right.
Like putting selfie as your, your DP. That one is just really, really crazy. Like, why should you even do that? And so, or not even you don't even have any headline or anything. So don't treat like a, casual social media platform. And then the third thing I see people, doing is thinking that, it's already saturated. There are already a lot of people building So why should I, like, how can I? So that's the reason why a lot of people are not consistent. They get overwhelmed by the fact that there are already a lot of professionals on LinkedIn.
Really
So like
posting well curated stuff.
exactly. So who am I to come from nowhere to just show up on LinkedIn? And I mean, I've seen people grow from zero to a very, very good amount of connections within months, right? So I don't think that and I don't think that it's actually limited for anybody. You can actually start today and then you see a lot of massive growth as long as you're focused on the reason why you came. Because the way you're showing up on LinkedIn will determine your goal. If you're looking for a job on LinkedIn, you can't post like someone that you're already a 5-star CEO. You can't post like that. That one, you're just looking for authority, to build authority. Then if you're a coach looking to land clients, you can't be posting the same way as if you're looking for a job. You're not searching for a job. You're looking for people to, trust you to get your coaching services. So you're going to be posting different. Your content strategy is going to be different. And then let's say you're let me not say just, but you're a professional already. You have a job.
Yeah.
And then you're looking to, just share your ideas.
Network.
Exactly. Just build your network. And who knows, your next job, you could get it just from being consistent on LinkedIn. So I'll just say your goal on LinkedIn would determine how you show up on LinkedIn. You can't post like every other person. So you need to be very, very specific, when you come to LinkedIn. Oh, this is what I came to achieve. Can I just add that another mistake I see people make is that they're confused about niche. When you focus on what niche should you choose, you're going to waste so much time and then you're not going to show up at all. In fact, you don't show up anywhere, not on LinkedIn, any social media platform. What I usually recommend for this niche problem is that choose a message that you want to, more like a message you want to preach to people. Me now, I think over years I've been refining mine, and right now I'm focusing on helping people to build a visible, impactful, and profitable brand through content. That's my new message. So I'm not really bothered about whether people call me content marketer, content strategist. Fine, all those titles are good. It just gives you like a place in the industry to place you.
Okay.
But stop overthinking the whole niche thing. It's not that deep. Just focus on a message. Oh, I want to help people create eye-catching videos. That's a message. You want to help people land high-paying jobs as freelancers. That's a message. So instead of, you want to be called business consultant, before you start putting the titles, look for a message. The title will find.
And then there are a lot of professionals, probably videographers, product designers. They're on LinkedIn here. Well, one of their major goals is that they want to land new clients or like land new gigs, or they want recruiters to start like reaching out to them. Yeah. So what would be your maybe 1, 2, 3 steps that you think that they should do for them to like achieve some of these goals?
Okay. So I like to keep things very simple, right? So I think the first thing is that create a LinkedIn profile first. That's the first. Some people don't even have LinkedIn profiles. Yeah. So optimize. Let's say the first step is actually optimize your LinkedIn.
Okay.
Optimize your LinkedIn to the job that you want. Don't optimize your LinkedIn to the person like people think you are, because that's a mistake. So you want to get, let's say, a cinematography kind of job, and then you brand yourself as a brand designer.
They're contrast.
Exactly. And then you say that I've been reading on LinkedIn since I'm going to get into it's not going to work like that. So you need to brand yourself for the job that you're actually looking for. Now, the second thing I like to say is interact on LinkedIn platform. Okay. Notice I didn't say post content. The reason is because I've heard of people that actually got jobs without necessarily posting on LinkedIn. All they did was engage on, potential clients kind of page. Let's say you see someone that normally you cannot reach out to on Instagram. LinkedIn is a very, very open place. I don't know why and how people respond, more on LinkedIn, but, LinkedIn is, I think, thought leaders and top professionals. They're actually more approachable. They're more approachable on LinkedIn. Except for cases maybe where you won't be able to like email them directly, but at least I think to a certain level you have more access.
Especially interacting with their content, maybe commenting.
Exactly. You can even start using their DMs for most of the time they will actually respond. It's weird, but I just find it very interesting that you can do that. So that's the second thing. Make sure you're interacting on the platform. The algorithm recognizes. In fact, any social media algorithm always recognizes when people are interacting, on the platform, and it's definitely going to be pushing the kind of, should I say, people that you're interacting with to you, right? And they'll keep on seeing. They'll see your comments. They're going to see maybe if you send them a DM. They're definitely going to say, "Oh, you've interacted with my content. Oh, that means I know you." Then, in fact, I got a typical example is that I got a message from a top creator I actually admired for a very long time. Recently, this week to be precise, I've been following this particular guy for a very long time. I just love his content and the way he teaches. Very simple, just the way I like it. Very simple and straight to the point. And this was the message in that content. I noticed that you've been commenting on my post for a while, and I felt I should reach out to you. I was like, wow. Oh wow, so you can see that is how to get attention, by interacting on the platform. Interact with people that you want to work with. Interact with people in your industry you can learn with, and interact with other people that are kind of like in your level. Try to say that's still on your own, level.
And like your peers.
Exactly. They can even recommend you for opportunities. That's how to get. And I said that's number 2, right? Yeah. Number 3, be consistent.
Sure.
Be consistent, because I know consistency sounds like the most cliche kind of advice, but that's what has helped me. If someone once told me that, like, you're the most consistent person I've ever seen, and I was like, yeah, I just create content and post it, because it does not make sense. First of all, I have like 20 something. I really don't. I'm not saying I don't care about the number of likes. So finding metrics are actually kind of important. They give you this kind of that what you're doing is working.
Being recognized.
Exactly, for the kind of effort that you're actually making on the platform. So being consistent to actually make people see. You're not the one that just post and ghost or interact and ghost. You don't stay. You do it for just 3 months and you're like, oh, I'm not seeing any results. There are people that do this thing for 2 years, do it for 5 years. I'm not saying it's going to take that long, but do it till you see the results you want. And if what you're doing doesn't work, change your strategy. Don't change your goal. Change the strategy that you're using to, go about it. Maybe it's the language you're using to approach these people you're interacting with. Change it. Maybe it's your profile that needs to be optimized. You work on it, or hire someone to help you optimize your profile and stuff like that. So those are the simple 3 steps you can use to grow on LinkedIn.
Oh, wow. Thank you very, very, very much. Very, very insightful tips that whoever is desirous of like making something out of LinkedIn, putting themselves out there, should like take note of just showing up, and then like optimization, and then other things that you say. So I'll still want to ask too, right? Yeah, maybe a common challenge that people have is that they feel that their current skill is not good enough. And I want to ask it in 2 ways. Right? I'll ask the question in one way, and then I also want you to talk about something where people still feel that people on LinkedIn are like too robotic. It's as if you overpackage what you have. As if everybody is there. I did this K20X, I did this, I made several certifications. I know obviously on every platform you have people that are like lying about what they've achieved. LinkedIn just feels like, that maybe on Instagram you have that community, people are chilling, as if everybody is serious. I come to LinkedIn, I just need to post about what I've achieved, what I've not achieved. So a lot of people feel intimidated. So I want you to talk about that, maybe over packaging on one side. But the other one is that, so a lot of maybe young people or just even professionals can feel that, oh, what I have is undone. Of a designer, for example, I might feel that, okay, the project, I'm not good enough. This design does not look great enough. Once I come to LinkedIn, I see what other top creators are, because I need to follow them for inspiration. I see what they are posting. I feel that it's not good enough. So sometimes, I don't get enough motivation to like post that exact thing that I have. So what do you have to say to both things?
Okay, for the over packaging part, this is more like a general social media advice. I would advise that you learn to quiet the noise. Like, you determine who shows up on your feed. You determine who you follow, who you're connecting with. Those are people that is definitely great to see on your feed, on your feed. Sorry. So you need to, like, streamline, your own feed. Curate your feed. That's the word I think they should use for that. Curate your feed. For me, people I see on my timeline, I'm not saying about the package. In fact, I see a lot of talks about failures. That even motivates me to do more. So that way, I'm not. Let me say, I'm not intimidated. I'm usually challenged. Fine, I actually do compare myself to, like, where they are. Some are hitting 50K followers. I'm like, I've been on this platform longer than them, and I'm not hitting that amount of followers. I definitely, feel that way. But I can say one thing: I'm getting results from my presence on LinkedIn. There are so many people that are hitting those amount of followers, and they have nothing to say, like, that's entering their bank account. You need to, like, social media is a crazy place. LinkedIn is also a social media platform. Just learn to, like, quiet the noise, and, like I said, follow people that motivate you, inspire you, and make you laugh. That's like my rule for social media. If I see that any particular creator on any social media platform, including TikTok, I mute you. Even WhatsApp, I mute statuses, I block people, I delete contacts. Once I see that, like, our values are like,
fab.
Exactly. So I just try my best to I protect my mind, I protect my environment, so that I don't feel that, So, and sometimes what people see as being intimidated, it might not be intimidation. I read something in a book recently. The book is called The Mountain Is You. And it says something that sometimes the things that you envy in people is a pointer to something that you desire for yourself. So we need to also understand that sometimes when we feel that we're being intimidated, it might not be intimidation. You're being challenged to do better. It's very possible that you've been coasting. You've been complacent about, like, where you are. So you're seeing these things popping up. And it's like a sign from, they like to use the word, sign from the universe, sign from God that you can do better. So it might not be you being, intimidated. It's just a kind of
pointer that you want this thing, and then to put efforts to also achieve it.
Exactly. So
so the other part of people that feel their work is not ready enough. They see amazing stuff that people are posting and just feel that, and that affects consistency sometimes. They just show up, think maybe it's not feels okay, I'll post, but then for a long time again they'll battle with, I don't think it's enough, I don't think it's good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So about that, in fact, I'm working with a client, a one-on-one client recently, and she just transitioned into tech.
Okay.
And I'm supposed to help her, like, build her presence on the LinkedIn. We just started last week. So there's one thing I have learned recently about any social media, and if you want to grow better on social media, is for you to document your process. Right? So people that have made it on LinkedIn, some of them have been posting their progress before now, but you were not there to see it. You're only seeing
the finished and refined version of them.
Exactly. So you're not, so you're not saying that. So if you're in that phase where you don't feel like you're good enough, I don't even think I'm, like, up there yet. So I still share my process. Like me sharing that, I just closed my first project. I share that on LinkedIn. And people are like, oh, congratulations on your first sales. I'm like, welcome to the family. I'm showing you, like, my process in, selling lands as a realtor. That's my process. And then when you see me telling you that I sold 50 lands in 3 months in the next 2 years, you probably did not see that post I made.
When you're starting.
Exactly. So if you want to overcome that, I'm not good enough, post your progress journey. In fact, some people are more excited to work with people that they can see their progress. It means that you're willing to learn. It means that you're actually teachable. And then you're just seeing your mistakes, your up and down. It even makes the content more interesting. Because that way people can relate, but I was also here. In fact, I'm telling you that, like, top people in your field can even interact. I would love to work with you. Or maybe I want to train you. I'd like to mentor you. Because I think that you're doing, a good job. I've seen the way you've been showing up. And that's how some people get internship roles. Some people get mentorship roles that way. So if you want to, start building your authority as someone that, let's say, a newbie, or you're still your intermediate stage of your career, just post your progress. It might not look perfect. That imperfection that you're seeing is actually better than some people even want that level of progress. So leave them to be the judge of that. Don't judge yourself out of opportunities that you might have attracted. So that's my take.
Well, awesome. I think I need to register for Good News LinkedIn optimization class. Like, very, very insightful. Yeah, focus on the process. You can put that up, and like, you don't need to be the judge of whether it's good enough or not good. Just like post it. And I love what you said, that most likely those that are saying they are refined and finished versions now, they've also had a past when they were like struggling, where they were starting out. Yeah, so don't just desire what they have now, but know that they came from that place. So you, wherever you are, whether starting out or intermediate, even if you think it's unfinished or not refined, post it like that. Just show that, oh, this is where I am currently, and gradually as you grow, it gets better. Let's talk about Goody King. Yeah, I know that you're repping the brand. Yeah, I think it serves as maybe like an umbrella for a lot of the things you do: LinkedIn optimization, strategy, and then speaking, consulting. So tell us what probably motivated you to start, and then the interesting things you are doing under Goody King.
Okay, first of all, the name. Some people have asked me, why not Goody Queen? I'm like, does it sound nice? Right, so the King, this name is actually from secondary school. I've had this name for a very long time, but not in this way. Then I think I called myself Angel Goody King. There was a time I called myself Diva G. Like, I just have a thing for names. I like naming myself, because maybe I think I took that scripture literally. I said, call yourself. Like, I think scripture about calling those things that So I said to call myself.
That's what they were.
Yeah. So I have this thing for, like, I love words, affirmations, all of that. So I just have this thing for names. Even though the name has like a mix from different origins. From a movie, there was a movie called Preacher's Kid, and the girl's name was Angie King. I just loved her character because I'm also a preacher's kid. It felt like we were like in the same kind of mind zone at that point. And I just love the fact. And I've always called myself, or known myself, to be the daughter of a king. I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. So I've always just known myself to just carry that mindset that I'm the daughter of a king. So calling myself that, or making that my brand name, is more like a reminder of my authority in Christ.
Yeah.
And I just want to always remember that
this is who I am.
Exactly, that this is who I am. So I've not changed the name since then. It took a while for people to get used to it, but there's just something where you have a conviction. The name was just perfect. I don't know if I'm going to change my name in 17 years because it just exemplifies who I want to be, not necessarily like who I am. Exactly, because I can be shy, I can be introverted and all of that, but the name has literally it has actually like just created this kind of authority for me. I'm said, you call yourself Goody King, they're like, Mama, like,
yeah, sure.
I was like,
sure,
they are really a king. Some people even added doctor to it. And I think after sharing my story about like moving from people just decided to honor me with Dr. Goody King. So I've accepted it. So it's usually like Dr. Goody King right now. If I think the standard one started like last year, so they added the Dr. Goody King. So I don't explain why it's an umbrella. So there's something that's just has been going on in my life recently. It's more like I'm coming to a point of clarity, getting to be more self-aware, self-conscious of who I really am. Because for a very long time, I felt like I was always trying to do things that I felt people wanted me to do.
Not things you really wanted.
Exactly. Not like I was pressured directly. I was pressured indirectly because I just had this notion that, they expect this from me. There's always this invisible expectation that is not conferred by anybody, but it's just you.
You can feel it and it influences most of our decisions.
Right. So using this as an umbrella, the reason why I didn't like give it any business name or anything, I feel like this is me. This is an expression of all my gifts, my interests. And I've always had this, there's this, should I say mantra? I'm going to say, I I had this mantra when I learned it from Dr. Miles Monroe, said, dying empty. So I told myself that I want to die empty. So breaking is literally like
every of my skills,
exactly.
I need to
like
use them.
let everything out. So that's the meaning or why Goody King exists.
Interesting. So lastly on maybe Goody King, like public speaking or speaking, consulting. Yeah, so tell us maybe interesting stuff you started doing or what you look forward to doing in these spaces.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people will hear this conversation or listen and they'll be like, okay, but we want to invite you for conferences, events, or what do you look out to do? What do you love speaking about? Yeah, and all of that.
Okay, so public speaking, I think that I just stumbled into public speaking. But funny enough, I remember that this secondary school I think the yearbook, you usually write like what you want to be. And then I wrote I wanted to be a neurosurgeon, a motivational speaker, and a healing worshiper. One is out and I'm doing to see how, should I say, destiny kind of speaks somehow. So I stumbled into public speaking. It has never really been a thing. But somehow people believe that when you can write well, you should be able to speak. So it's more like people are gaining like insight from the things you're writing and they're really being inspired. And then they feel that, oh, you really need to come and speak to my community. That is exactly what happened to me. I didn't practice to being a public speaker. I'm actually really scared of, should I say scared of the stage? Not entirely scared, but most times it's just an overwhelm of what will I say? I don't think I'm there yet to be speaking in front of people. That's usually where that comes from. But I've been speaking for a while. I was SCG president during med school. That happened. I don't even know why and how.
That's like I'm interested.
I don't know why.
Seems to be something in the future we'll get to know that.
That one is. I don't know why and how they voted for me, but somehow I always find myself like in spaces of leadership. It chases me. It chases me down everywhere. I don't know. I guess there's a calling in that aspect. But in terms of interests, things I'm interested in speaking about, I love speaking to young people. I've been invited several times to churches, programs to speak to, young people in, I think, self-discovery. And I think I've not really spoken about career path because I'm still on mine. So it's not like really set so well. But I've spoken about self-discovery, LinkedIn, content marketing a lot. And I think a little bit about purpose, a little bit about purpose. So that's right now, those are like my interests, self-development, personal growth, purpose. I'm still learning all about that. So it's nice that as I'm learning, I just want to like really share because I really don't want anybody to have to go through the rigors I did, when I was in my 20s. So I don't want anybody to repeat the same mistakes or have the same kind of mindset. So I definitely am looking forward to speaking more in those areas.
Oh, exciting. Yeah, they're going to come. The speaking engagement and offers are going to come. Yeah, so let's talk a bit more about your upbringing. Yeah, you had mentioned preacher's kid, healing worshiper, and all of that. How important is faith in your journey currently in terms of career impact and then just like impacting societies or businesses?
Okay, faith is a very important part of my life. In fact, there was a point that before I came to the whole VIP thing that's visible, impactful, and profitable, there's time I was always saying faith, fitness, finance. So like I've always been like a person of faith, even though I tried to run. I know there was a time I was being called church girl in school. I hated it because I wanted people to see beyond me being a pastor's kid. I've tried several ways to make people to understand that I'm not just a church girl. I'm not just a pastor's kid. I tried the old tinting my hair, just
shake off that tag.
Yeah, I just wanted to do something out of the norm that people would normally not expect.
While you still retain
Exactly.
Call.
But for instance, I can't shake it. I've decided to leave the church. They're like, no matter what you do, there's just that foundation. And one thing I can give credit to is one person, my dad. My dad and my mom, honestly, I can say that they really did an amazing job raising us. We're not like the stereotype kind of pastor's kids, in the sense that we had a lot of freedom. Like not the one that not that you just go to out, but like they actually gave us a lot of freedom to explore like our minds. And that's why I said that they didn't choose medicine for me, I chose it for myself. So even me being able to transition into, business and marketing is definitely kudos to them, because they gave me that freedom to choose. Because you can imagine, after spending thousands of dollars outside the country, you come back.
And I'll say that.
I say, I'm not doing it.
I think I'm interested in something.
Wow. You just sent out of the house. But no, they're very patient with me. And they understood that, I just needed some time to, get to know myself and, just get to understand. Then the part of being a worshiper, that one, ministry is something that I don't think I really know like the fullness of it, but I love worship. If that was my first expression of, let's say, speaking, how I became bold in front of crowds was through worship. I started singing before I started talking. So for me, music was a worship. Actually, I'm more into worship. Worship was more of, a way to more like connect with myself, because there was a lot of, I felt like there was a lot of things that I was like kept inside of me that I couldn't like let out. Worship just helped to like, it was like a form of like release for me, and definitely that's a great source of strength. If there's anything that keeps me consistent, I can see it's my faith, because I just think about the fact that if I give up now, there's so many lives attached to mine, and I give up, 10 other people are going to get up. That's just like really huge. And for me, I don't like seeing people, feel, because it's cinematography of my decision. So like that faith definitely fuels my consistency with most of the things I'm doing. I might even take a break now. I might take a 3 months break from posting. I will come back. That's like, it's a certain thing. I'm definitely going to come back. I don't know if you some people have seen on my status over and over again. I keep on saying that we don't give up around here. We might take a break. We might go for like a vacation, take a rest, but we don't give up around here.
Come back stronger.
You're coming back stronger and better, definitely. So faith is very, very core to me. It's very, very core to me. I'm not sure I can do anything without God, because for the reason why I am here today, and I can see his handprint all over like my purpose. I've seen cases where I was offline for 3 months and I would get like an opportunity in my DM waiting for me. So
even while offline?
Yes, even while offline. So I've actually seen it's always like God tells us like step away and just tell him there's something that God has kept on telling me, that I just need to like trust that he's capable of handling my affairs. And it's in my period of rest that I see opportunities come to me the most. I've seen that happen over and over again. So it's more like it helps me to know that I'm on the right path. Right. So
yeah, we're gradually going to the end of this particular episode. Let's talk a bit more about marketing. What are like trends or new stuff that people are doing now that like shaping the industry or really yielding results for people?
So 2 trends stick out for me. Let me say 3. One is AI, use of AI tools. Second, video marketing. I think everybody, that's why we are here, right? And then the third one is email marketing. Email marketing / newsletters. I won't put them in the same category. Lately, I've seen the rise of the use of email and newsletters in content marketing, even in delivering courses, in selling products. I've seen, like, if you notice now, so many, even SMEs are beginning to have websites that they also have like an email.
Yeah, like subscribe.
Exactly. So subscribe to my newsletter. So I'm seeing that on the rise again. People thought that email was outdated, but we're seeing the rise of email and newsletters again in 2025. And then video marketing, we all know the reason why people are becoming, should I say, people want more fun in their content. They just want to read. I mean, because of the whole attention span. So, so we need to have like a mix of, should I say, content formats. So hence the introduction of video. I'm not saying that video is all in all, right? Because right now, I started building on TikTok and video is not my strength, but I can see like, for me, I'm trying to like gain confidence videoing my own self on camera. That's why I'm doing it. I'm learning how to like communicate better. Sometimes these are just, I can't do this anymore. But when it comes to writing, leave me to write all day.
Yeah, date whatever.
It's very, very easy. It's not my strength, but I definitely want to learn how to leverage, video. Then AI is something that we're going to see. In fact, that's like the future of marketing. And we just need to learn how to use it, understand it. I know there's this fear that AI will take your job. It's not AI that will take your job. It's the people that know how to use AI that will take your job. So it's just learn how to use it. Learn how to leverage it. Don't be solely dependent on it. Understand the core basics of your field. I attended like how to, apply it, using AI. For me now, the crazy things I've done with AI.
Amazing exploit.
Nobody can even tell that this is AI, but like the amazing things I've achieved with AI, and I can tell you that like it's definitely a game. In fact, I'm always wild. I'm my favorite tool. I think I probably
I was gonna ask that.
But let me wait to ask that, right? But AI is definitely a trend that is, in fact, is picking up pace now, and there's so many AIs, and even most of them are even specific to platforms. I know of several that are coming up right now for LinkedIn. In fact, that generate like, all I put, they kind of learned the way top creators write. And now all you need to do is to input maybe the audience you want to write to and what you want to write about. And within minutes, I tried a couple over the past. I'm like, God, these people. So is there going to be need for people like us and all? But then there's still always that need for, authentic content that relates. You can't, is that something, someone has to do the inputing. And with the right input, just like garbage in, garbage out, like in a computer. So like if you don't input the right thing, you're not going to get, the right output. So those three, AI, video, and email marketing for me.
Love what you mentioned about garbage in, garbage out is whatever you put there. Even these days now, I saw a post also talking about how to properly write prompts. Like you give it what exactly you want, you give it context, you tell it things that you should not do. So once you can like properly structure your prompt, it now gives you very good result. And then you should not just like take whatever it gives you verbatim, but still adding your own touch to it, maybe removing some part, that part of creativity, and knowing that this is the audience this content is for. So you can like still tweak it more again, especially if you have not given it context that I'm creating something for Nigerians thinking this way, this is how they consume content and all of that. Like it's really, really variable.
Those cliche elevates.
Yeah.
You not see like all these star emojis, right? Saying rockets. You already know that.
Or fire emoji or list or something. Yeah, so let's talk about your favorite AI tools. You had mentioned some ones that you're using for LinkedIn. Like top maybe 3, 4, as many as you want to list that every week now you just like use to help fast track your work.
Should I be honest with you? I only use one AI tool because I don't like using like so many. I just use ChatGPT. I tried the Gemini.
Okay.
I don't really like the inputs. I don't think I tried Bard. I'm not sure I did. But I tried Gemini. Maybe it's for some things. But ChatGPT is my go-to tool. I literally use it for everything. I don't even use Google as much as before. I mostly use ChatGPT right now. But let me just mention some. The ManyChat AI. That's the one that automatically helps to respond to comments on that's Instagram, and I don't know if it works for Twitter. But I think for now, it works on Instagram. Then there's this post drip. Post drip is for LinkedIn, mostly for LinkedIn. I think I use it for any other platform. Well, I think because some LinkedIn formats actually work for Twitter, so you can just break it into threads. That's all. So post drip for that, but ChatGPT tops my list.
There was one particular AI tool that I started using recently that I'm kind of enjoying and still exploring. It's the Google Notebook LM. Yes, so you can, it helps out with like thesis, people writing project, PhD and all of that. If you're able to maybe get research papers, summarize them, get key points. So recently what I even did, so I saw a post about how principles that, like important principles, if let's say about from Amazon, how like getting, maybe even is an internship role or just any role in Amazon. So someone posted like a thread, like a post on LinkedIn talking about it and put like a link of a more lengthier article. So I just took the link of the article, put it on Notebook and created like a podcast from the content on the website. So like while working, instead of me having to take out time to just like read the entire, so while working or designing, I can just like listen to it as a podcast, and like that's like pretty cool. Yeah, it's doing like very cool stuff. Just as you said, also important for us to embrace them. You don't need to like do all or need to like spend money on everyone. There are a lot of free platforms. Explore them, see what they do. Even just with ChatGPT, you had mentioned quite amazing stuff they are doing with it too. Everyone like should like embrace and do beautiful stuff with them. Thank you so much. Good news. It's been a very, very insightful conversation. More like a mini masterclass here. Yeah. Very, very great. Thank you very much. So we'll be ending with a fireside session. Yeah, just a few questions. You don't need to think too much. Just tell us your answer straight from the heart. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. Apple or Android?
Android.
Android. Team Android.
I'm using Apple.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
All right. Morning person or night owl?
I think I'm a morning person.
LinkedIn or IG?
LinkedIn. IG. Killing.
All right. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
All right. Favorite way to unwind?
To unwind. Movies.
All right. Dinner with an historical figure, who will it be?
She's not a historical figure. Ibuka Wushka.
Any final words for young people, business people, people that are looking forward to optimize their LinkedIn? Yeah, something you just love to share with it.
Okay. Final words, right? I don't like to make things really about LinkedIn or any social media platform because I believe they are short-lived. Anyone can shut down. They can just say that business is no more profitable, and So I think my last word would be more of get to know who you are, discover yourself, like actually know what you want and not what people want for you. So that way that can actually guide your decision making. That way you live a life that is, filled with clarity. You're moving at a pace that you know that I'm on the right path. So even if you see people doing things that are in a way ahead of, even though they were your class, all of that, you're not feeling any form of pressure because you just know that you are flowing in your own pace. Like you're giving yourself grace to just, grow and allow yourself to move. So that's like my biggest message. Get to know who you really are. Get to discover yourself. Get to explore yourself. Get to explore your interests, your ideas, and just get to know yourself. Really, that's my biggest thing on life right now. Get clarity so that you can actually dive deep into purpose properly.
It was very great and insightful conversation. Looking forward to more speaking engagements where we'll get to learn from you more, from your experience and from new stuffs you'll be trying out again, and also for your realtor business. So wishing you very best. You sell more properties, from lands to houses. Yeah. All right, thank you so much. Good news. It's been a very, very insightful conversation. And also, fun fact that you guys need to know. Good news, our first female guest for Amazing Exploit. All right, thank you so much, guys. We're sharing new episodes with amazing people doing great experts in their fields, sharing their stories in their career journeys. I look forward to catching you guys on the next one. Bye.